who after the blast of the whistles, pictures are on the screen where they went and almost assaulted the referee until the match officials were escorted off the pitch. And even after they were escorted off the pitch, some of these players and officials still went into the tunnel to still try to harass the officials about the quality of the game. And I dare to say that if we played that game 90 plus 90, 180 minutes, I think the result will still be the same.
Yeah.
Nigeria will still have won that game because Nigeria were just better than Algeria. And I kept wondering why those reactions were coming, or was it just a story of them being bad losers at the end of the day? See them being escorted into the tunnel.
Yeah, just like you said, I see a case of being a sore loser. I don't see a situation where you would want to react.
Because
like
initially this is just the players, fans are not even involved. Now this is the tunnel after they were escorted into the tunnel. Look at players still
this was
trying
this was the defender that was given 4 match ban.
Yeah. And you look at it, they were following the match officials into the 2025 African Cup of Nations that just ended in Morocco. Barely, it's not even up to a week yet, but now we're beginning to see a lot of things coming out from CAF as a result of the tournament, where we've seen a lot of good sides to the tournament, to the hosting itself. But right about now, we are also getting to not ignore the other sides that we get to see at the tournament. And this time around, the Confederation of African Football has started their disciplinary procedures, especially looking at the number of things that they have to go through. But this time around, they're starting with Algeria, and they have thrown fines to their federation, the Algeria Football Federation, to the tune of $95,000 for unruly conduct after their defeat against Nigeria. 2-0 they lost at the hands of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but we saw the incidences that happened after the final whistle of that game. And now CAF has at least they've also weighed into the matter, and now we're seeing fines being thrown around $95,000. Akim.
Yeah, I think it's like total of $100,000 actually. Book of it. From everything I've been looking into in these fines, the major thing is I think fans need to do better. Book of these fines was based on what the fans did. You know, little were on the players, of course. The goalkeeper got 2 match ban, and I think one of the defenders got like 3 or 4 match ban actually. You know, so but like $50,000 was because of the fans' reaction, waving naira notes to the referee, you know, suggesting that they were saying maybe collected money or something like that. You know, so all these things, I think, most of these fines that we've seen, bans and all of that we've seen with clubs, major of it was caused by the fans. We were talking about the one in Kano in the end of last year, you know, fans, right? We were talking about Remo just because we went to the studio.
I think it shouldn't be surprising. Football is for the fans.
I know, that's why I'm saying the fans should do better.
They have vested emotions, they have vested interest in the outcome of every game. And of course, you also know the antecedents of the North African teams until because I'm going to throw in the Senegalese fans as well into the mix now, because owing until they saw the game between Morocco and Cameroon, they saw the game between Morocco and Nigeria, and it feels like they were prompted to get ready for something similar, and that's why we get to see some of this. Where I'm going with this is that football is actually for the fans. The emotions of the game is largely for the fans. We also get to see players who are also heavily involved in decisions on the pitch as well. But at the end of the day, fans, I had a friend in Morocco as well. She was on the stands and she was bitterly complaining about the officiating. That's a journalist. Not to talk of just fans who paid flight tickets, who paid for hotels, who paid for their feeding,
Come and watch that.
to just come and watch.
Yeah, I get that part. What I'm just in particular about is this reaction has to be curbed regardless. You know, emotion is emotion. It will always fly, whether your team is leading or not leading.
Are we looking at it
really
holistically? Are we looking at if we are saying that we want to curb this?
Generally,
we want to
I'm looking at it generally, not from a place of okay, the referee was doing this or that, and then the reaction, you know, comes in. Okay, look at the Algeria, Nigeria that we're saying now. What happened? Was it that the referee did anything?
No.
Right? No. So this is also part of the problem. Fans just would want to react to their team losing, which is understandable. But there are a series of ways you can do this without making your team have to pay for it. You know, sometimes teams will pay for it by having to play away from home. You know, in case of a league all over the world, that we've seen situations where teams will be banned from playing their own matches at home. You know, based on or because of fans did certain things. Do you understand? So as fans, you wouldn't want your team to be let down. You wouldn't want your team to not be playing at home. So these are one of the reasons why you should think of these decisions or these emotions that is flying around. Even while you were very angry or what have you.
But the punishment meted by, because we've seen players and officials of the team who, after the blast of the whistles, pictures are on the screen where they went and almost assaulted the referee until the match officials were escorted off the pitch. And even after they were escorted off the pitch, some of these players and officials still went into the tunnel to still try to harass the officials about the quality of the game. And I dare to say that if we played that game 90 plus 90, 180 minutes, I think the result will still be the same.
Yeah.
Nigeria will still have won that game because Nigeria were just better than Algeria. And I kept wondering why those reactions were coming, or was it just a story of them being bad losers at the end of the day? See them being escorted into the tunnel.
Yeah, just like you said, I see a case of being a sole loser. I don't see a situation where you would want to react.
Because
like
initially this is just the players, fans are not even involved. Now this is the tunnel after they were escorted into the tunnel. Look at players still
this was
trying
this was the defender that was given 4 match ban.
Yeah. And you look at it, they were following the match officials into the tunnel, and you're not just taking away, we're not just even throwing the fans into these issues now. Yes, we know that the fans also have their own, but we are seeing what those players and match officials, what they did on the pitch.
Yeah, it's not a good one. It's crazy to see this kind of reaction, especially when the match had already finished, when it would never have changed a thing. Sometimes I can understand when, okay, before, maybe after a foul or after a tackle, and then the referee blew the whistle, the player is trying to, you know, campaign that, I didn't do anything and everything. I can accept and agree with that. But not when you've probably been red carded or been given yellow card, you now start complaining after you've already been given the punishment. What will it change? Absolutely nothing. So this time around, the match was already over. All these complaints, what would they have changed? Absolutely nothing. You had the chance to complain while the match was on. You had the time to change the narrative while the match was on. You couldn't do that. We saw what Mario said. You know, Mario said they didn't stand a chance. He said it before the match that Nigeria are scary. You know, so, and it ended up being
If you look at the number of goals Nigeria had scored before the place of Algeria, you would know that, well, Nigeria looks like the better side. But that's the punishment from CAF to Algeria. They have just I think barely 24 or 48 hours to respond to the sanctions by CAF. I don't know if they would want to appeal this decision, but of course that's the decision from CAF. $95,000 US dollars going to $100,000 US dollars is something. I can remember the Senegalese president pushing out $235,000 to each player, so it's something that they can afford.
That's what you think.
Let's come back home. Let's come to the NPFL. Let's talk about, before we go to the fixtures for this weekend, let's talk about some crowd troubles incidents that, incidentally, we get to talk about, we start the show about fans today, but let's talk about crowd troubles on the NPFL. The Nigerian Premier Football League have now sanctioned Remo Stars. They have been ordered to play their own matches in Ibadan. Well, that's courtesy of the incident that happened between Remo Stars and Ikorodu City. It happened in Ikene. That was the first. That was their first return away from playing from the MKO Abela Sport Arena in Kuta Abeokuta to return back to Ikene, where they have a new sweet pitch that has just been revamped and renovated, and a number of things that a number of us wanted to look forward to. But now Remo Stars have now been banished for the rest of the season, so they will be prosecuting the remainder of their own fixtures at the Lake Salami Stadium in Ibadan. I don't know. It's a decision that has taken the NPFL some time, because they actually announced on their official X account. As a result, Remo Stars have been fined 2 million naira for failing to provide adequate and effective security. On the other hand, they add another fine of 1 million naira for throwing objects onto the field of play. The club has also been fined 1 million naira for improper conduct of supporters, and additional 1 million naira for misconduct capable of bringing the game into disrepute. Aside that, I think so far so good. I've listed about 5 million naira. Furthermore, they have also been fined 2 million naira, which was imposed as compensation for damages to the symbols and to the supporters of Ikorodu. So, in total, they have a fine of 7 million naira to their name at this point. So Remo has to cough out 7 million naira from their account, and 2 million naira will be going to Ikorodu City. Then we have the remaining 5 million naira, which will be going to the body. That's the NPFL. Well, that's the outcome of the investigation, because the two teams were summoned to Abuja by the league management, and at the end of the probe, this is what came out.
Well, funny enough, we've been talking about fans, probe, fines.
Yeah.
Well, as regards that this one is concerned, it's home turf, it's Nigeria, and it makes me sad even more. I'm a fan myself. I've been to the stadium to watch them
you get
play
to watch almost every weekend.
Almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And I can remember that was the day I was talking, and I said, there is one thing I like about Abeokuta fans. It doesn't really matter who is playing well or who is winning. If our team, or suppose our own team, playing at the time and you are playing well, we applaud you. If you are not playing well and the oppositions are playing better than you,
but you do know that this is more than just the result. Remo won that game against.
Hold on. I know. I'm headed there now. This has not happened in Abeokuta throughout Remo's match in Abeokuta, and we've seen situations that could probably have made fans wanted to do that. I've been there for like 2 or 3 matches that I've seen referee making decisions that are not good enough. You know, giving yellow cards in the first half, knowing that it was almost as if he wanted to neutralize those midfielders for Remo that day. I was there. Emotions were flying, but nobody was throwing objects. Nobody was going to attack anybody. We were just ranting from our feet. Right?
Yes,
now, they've gone back to Remo now. Just one match playing at home at Remo, and then boom, there's an issue with Ikorodu. Yes, maybe I want to believe that the investigation was well done. Right, and there was evidence that they actually attacked Ikorodu, because the videos that was flying around, I was saying there is no visible evidence. I repeat, the videos that I have been seeing. We saw a result of after the car had been broken, the glasses have been shattered and all of that, but not while supporters were attacking them or anything. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No, Akim, I don't want us to make a mistake of evidence. Reason being that most of the time the people that actually posted some of those videos and the clips that we saw on social media are fans. Now, when clubs are to go to maybe Abuja to submit evidences to the league management bodies, most of the time the evidences that they submit are some evidences that you don't even get to see, except in serious cases where it is obvious that somebody or a fan picked. Now, most of the time I've spoken to administrators where they say to themselves that they have some things, so you'll be having conversations on different groups and forums with them, and then they'll just be smiling when we start talking that they did this, they did that, and then they'll start talking, and you say, why are they not saying anything? They'll just tell you that, well, they know what they want to do. When the MPFL body is ready, they will call them, and then they will table what they have. You understand? So I think there could be because now for you to summon both things and for the league body to still come out with about 7 million naira fine and a banishment to Ibadan, it means that there was some maybe more evidence.
I'm being objective
with what you have said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still headed to the fans. I'm still going to blame the fans for this because there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
Don't do anything close to a crime and nobody will call you a criminal. But when you walk like a criminal, when you dress like a criminal, when you act sometimes like a criminal,
but in this situation, they didn't throw the first blow. The reason
it's not even the matter of who throws the first blow. The truth is,
they went to Lagos and they came back as well, like they had venom in them. They wanted to, but
in that case,
I know it's not allowed in football.
Did they fine Ikorodu for attacking him?
Yeah, I think they were. The MPFL also waded into the matter, but of course, you know how fans can be, and a number of other things. But
I'm still going to blame the fans. So in the end, what I was going to say before you interrupted was, yes, we didn't see enough evidence, but let's say they provided more that we didn't see, and now it means that the fans that made the club have to cough out 7 million naira and then forfeit playing at home, which means that even them won't be able to watch, most of them anyway, won't be able to watch the team.
Most of what they were playing in Abuja, many of them were not even able to.
Yeah, at first they come around.
Yeah.
I think like the 3-4 matches.
Not the numbers that we get to see at the Kennedy. Not the numbers that we see at the Kennedy.
Of course. But now they don't get to watch them. So in the end, who is going to pay for it? The fans, the club, everyone. So this is why you need to talk to yourself when you are doing all this nonsense, trying to fight people all around because of